What's going on out there, traders? Welcome back to Start Swing Trade. I had some issues there getting started. It looks like, I don't know what's going on with my camera. You guys can see the purple background. That's actually completely blue, but I got to mess with my camera a little bit later today. I don't know what setting got toggled on. I was trying to fix it there for a little while there, but hey, let's get right to the market. Let's take a look at what's going on underneath the hood today. It seems like tech can't be stopped right now. It seems like this market can't be stopped. I've talked about this before, and I think this is a very important kind of lesson to learn in the markets. Multiple times when this financial crisis happened that was just, we went to, we got what? We got news that the government was going to back the market at all means, right? And whenever we hear that, what have I seen since? Well, I've always seen the market react straight to the upside. And what are we seeing here? The truth is, this market can't be stopped right now. At least that's what it seems like. Let's take a look at the Qs. You guys can see the Qs continuing to push right now, right back up there to the 355. Every pullback seems to get bought up right now, and it's extended away from the 9 EMA. That doesn't matter. It wants to continue going higher, and right now it seems like you guys can see it in the market. Pretty strong day. Consumer cyclical. We talked about this. Would the high beta names start to push with the market if the market could continue to push here? And we drew this, right? We drew this on May 28th, looking for that upside action. So now you're starting to see stores like department stores push right back up. KSS, Macy's starting to push higher. Recreational vehicles pushing higher today. Luxury goods pushing higher. Gambling pushing higher. Even I saw good old Penn pushing higher today. So you guys can see it. Leisure pushing higher. And of course, you guys know NCLH is one that I've been swinging. Been looking to take some profits into this trend line. This has been a monster swing for us, team. I've had this now 23.17% up, and looking for it to kind of push just a little bit more. Then going to take some profits towards 17, like 17.16, 17. We're almost there. It's at 16.77. It's been an awesome ride up here in Norwegian, and big move there. You can also see it in the Carnival Cruise Line. Look at that. Now to 13. Remember, I had got that at 10. So that would have been a nice 30% win right there. We'll see if Carnival can continue driving higher. But it's not only those stocks. There's a lot more kind of making moves in the leisure. You even saw Playboy Group get a little bit of a push up today. SPWH get a little push. TZOO, Travel Zoo. Look at this. It's actually getting pretty strong here, holding the pullbacks and starting to push to the upside. Even Yeti getting a little bit of a bounce. I know summer is coming soon. Can Yeti get enough bounce to get it back up? We'll see what happens there. But specialty retails, resorts and casinos, lodging. Look at the change that you've seen here in lodging. Look at Hilton. Comes from the bottom, right back up to the upside, right here towards the trend. Could keep going and starting to push higher. And I would keep an eye out also on Marriott. Same thing, right? 3 highs in the same area, 181 in the 40s. So we'll see what right now we're at 181.30s. Can we get through this? Can we go to 185, 190s? So it looks like we're seeing definitely what? All out breakout, man. And if we can get through this 430, who knows where we can go? I mean, this seems like it wants to act as resistance right now, but if it pushes through, it could make a big push up and continue going higher. I mean, who knows where the market could be at the end of the year? We could be up to 460s. Why not? I mean, is 480s really out of reach? I don't think I would have talked about that earlier in the year, but you guys can see it. We're definitely shaking a lot of the bearish patterns out there. And today, what do we see going higher? ARKK at least. That's a nice swing trade that we've had. Now up about 9.47% on that one. Still haven't taken some gains. I'm looking to take some into the 43s. I got an order out there at 43.18. We'll see if that gets hit a little bit from now. I can see some resistance coming into play at 43.22s. ARKK names doing well today. There's a couple of them. bouncing back. Coin got hit, but it did bounce back. DNA getting a nice little move higher. I've talked about this one multiple times. Now you're seeing that make a move there towards 185. Roku is one I've talked about that has been getting hot lately. There's a nice little push. And Square, of course, we've had this one now from 61.33s, and we have an order to take some profits into the 66 handle. But right now it hit 66.17, 66.18. It hasn't gone to that level where I want to take some profits, but it's pretty close, team. I mean, this one is a really nice win so far. They're on Square up 7.48% and pushing higher. So my swings are working really well. Day trading game completely off right now, team. And isn't that weird, right? Well, maybe I should just be sticking towards the swing trading action because that's going really well for me right now. And with Square making this move, of course, you guys can take a look at PayPal, probably lifting higher. This doesn't look too bad. It's up there to 65.06. Hasn't pushed as much as Square. I'm going to be looking to see if Square could eventually make its way to 70. That's where I'd probably sell it all out. But we'll see what happens there as this keeps pushing higher. Block, nice little push higher towards 65.90s right now. We'll see if that can keep pushing. LAZR, of course, I've talked about these growth kind of names that I'm looking for that are in the dirt. Well, LAZR made a nice little move early on in the day, now kind of pulling back. We'll see if it can get a move here towards 730s and 740s in here towards the close. It did make a high there towards 745, big high to get through 736. If we can just close above that, we'll be looking really good here in Luminar Technologies. And of course, what is this? A LiDAR play. So definitely check it out. How are we doing in the chat? What's going on out there? Walter, Raz, what's going on? Did Kathy make any announcements? No need to make an announcement. The truth is, it's growth names moving strong. Soxhale rug pull coming. We'll see what happens there, Crow. It's been a big push on the day. At least right now, it seems like tech stocks just can't be stopped. Soxhale right now pushing strong up to 2160s. We'll look to see if we get a rug turn soon. I'm short coin for the day trade, Matt. I ain't even going to get into coin today. That definitely broke me today. I tried to short it. I thought I had some good levels. It just never went down. And who knows when coin could come down, right? So I definitely got hit on that one. Just be careful out there, Matt. Like always, you choose your investment advice. We'll see if it can come down. It's just been hanging on all day. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is doing well. I did, though, not add to Intel today, and that was a mistake. I definitely think it was a mistake. I talked about this 29.69 yesterday. We even drew it there yesterday. You guys can see there, created on 6.5, right? And so we were looking at this line to see if it was going to hold. Well, look how it went right to it, 29.69 in the morning, 29.70s tapped. Third time, the charm, it comes right back up. Could have been a great area to kind of add to this and got a little bit lower. I'm still in the green, just slightly now into the red. I was in the green just a couple of seconds ago before I opened the show at 30.93s. I could add up here, but I'll just kind of keep watch. I'll let this kind of work. This is kind of a longer term swing. Just got to let it continue doing its thing and see if I can get that next push to 32. If I can get a push towards 32, I'll be looking in the clear here for Intel. So for right now, just on the sideline, maybe below 30.50s could add and then continue to try to ride this higher. But man, that's Square. It's hard to me to see that kind of profit and not run to it. It's just been a good day. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is going on. I added to Intel yesterday. Money Mitch pushed me into it. Well, EKS, I hope I didn't push you into it, but I did add yesterday also. I added once, but I wanted to add twice down there to kind of really get my average right back down closer towards the 30 than the 31. I'm at 30.93. So I would love to work my average down towards like 30.50. That would be really nice. And that's what it could have been. But we'll see what happens here if it can keep pushing. Thoughts on Adobe? I'll take a little bit of a peek at that. Of course, Adobe holding on right now around the 440s. And I'm going to be looking to see when this could pull back because I really liked Adobe. I missed this move. It made a huge move and it just pushed strong from there, from 30.70s up to 30.90s that day. I never got a chance. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for the pullback towards 400. At some point, if I could get that pullback to 400, I will definitely take a shot on Adobe. But for right now, it's kind of just stair stepping its way. It did run into a little bit of resistance right now around the 436.40s. See if you can close above that to see the continued strength. But Adobe's been pretty strong as of late. All right, let's keep going. Lynn Williams asking, hey, Mitch, thoughts on AI, the stock at the close? Let's take a look. AI here. So AI is a really strong stock, of course. And today, one thing that I mentioned about AI is that I heard it from the chat. Certain people were telling me that the short locates were really expensive on AI. And that can make it really hard to kind of short a name like AI, or maybe that the pool's already out there and there's no shares to kind of get right at this moment. But this has been driving higher. Of course, it's made kind of like a couple of pushes up, a couple pullbacks. I think you're just kind of riding the trend higher right now. And you can see here kind of like a little bit of an upslope line. And then you can see kind of the resistance is playing in right now. It's around the 38.50s, but you did get a little push above this kind of wick, which was a good kind of wick to kind of look through. What I would want to see now is like on a 15-minute candle continuing to close above this kind of 38.50. You got an open at 38.49, an open at 37.90s. That's kind of what I want to see, kind of get back up there through 38.50s, up through the 38.75, and then you can keep moving forward. Right now, a pullback below 38s or below 37.90s would be kind of a little bit of a turnaround. And maybe you could just get a VWAP bounce, but I'm just trying to stay as close as possible. Like always, you determine how you trade AI. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else at that. We're looking for a 38.80 to get out, 38.80. Well, I mean, that's just a push right through here, right? That's a push right back towards that high. It doesn't mean that it can't get there. It has been trying to get there all day, but there is also a little bit of some changing of volume on that recent spike. So see if you can get right back towards that volume, get up there towards the 38.80s. We'll see if you're able to cash in. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see what else is being called out in the chat. I can definitely take a look. Let's go towards the stocks, of course. Financial services also pushing higher today. KRE, we talked about that yesterday, how it's such an important level and got a little pullback, but held that pullback. I've drawn this from April 10th. Now we're starting to push above the 42s. That's going to be the level I'm going to be looking for pullbacks to hold right around 42.25, 42s, and then push higher. If that can happen, yeah, this can continue to drive higher. So I'd be looking for pullbacks towards 42.25 and 42s to jump in on the party. But good day today. You can see it in PACW. You can see it in Wall, right? These are pushing higher. Look at the bigger banks also. BAC, Bank of America, nice day to there right now, 29.16. Will it make another move to 29.40s here towards the close? JPM having a decent day. Goldman Sachs pushing back there towards the 330s. So it seems like this is starting to get a little bit of love. Citi getting some love. And I think that this is what you want to kind of keep an eye out for. Is SoFi starting to continue? Look at that SoFi continuation as that push higher. Even names like this, SoFi starting to push. So keep your eyes on financial services. Definitely a strong day there. Let's go to XOM. Let's go to WTI. I need to take a look at crude price. I haven't checked the look in a little bit there. I see 71.64. We did just slightly peak above 72. The levels to watch, 70 breakdown. If 70 break down, I think this continues to come right back down. If not, this could start pushing higher again. I'm actually looking for it to kind of maybe do a little bit of a spike towards 160.50 tomorrow, and then a real flush down. So I might even get short some of these oil names in the next couple of days. Just keep an eye on it. Of course, you guys can keep up with all the action on live trading to see some of those trades get filled. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at what other stocks are making a move right now. Energy stocks, of course, we just talked about. Basic materials is what we're moving to now. And you had lumber, wood production lead that. Aluminum right behind there, and then agricultural inputs. So what are you talking about? Stocks like MOS having a really decent day in agricultural inputs. CF are stocks to kind of keep an eye out for. IPI. So it looks like aluminum stocks getting a little lift today. Alcoa getting a little bit of a push here. CENX, nice little push. Can this push there towards 9? We'll see if this can continue pushing higher. Basic materials is not really my favorite area right now, but it is having a great day. Industrials also bouncing right back. So they had a little bit of a pullback day. Now look at Deere coming right back, Cat coming right back. And that means Paccar, I also expect to kind of follow right back to the upside. And you guys can see it. This one made a quick move right back to the upside here. We'll see if it makes a move towards the breakout. ITW is another one that you can watch to see if maybe it lags a little bit and starts really to get the motor going. All right, how's GE? Can't stop, won't stop? I'm sure of it. It's looking like it wants to push up towards the top of the range. Let's see if it makes a move there towards that 108 or 109. All right, I can take a look at W in a little bit. Val, just stick around, smash the like for me, and we'll get towards W in a few minutes. All right, let's take a look there. Technology looks like it wants to continue going. Let's take a look at some of the leaders on the day, of course. Let's go to our leadership. Apple, how's that closing here? Let's take a look at the hourly. You can see it kind of started climbing back there towards the 180, but not really a big move. Microsoft also just kind of leaking around, not doing much here, and just kind of staying sideways after a first leak in the market. Google starting to turn around and coming right back down. Meta, which one I got caught in earlier today, eventually did come down back towards 271 and now starting to leak. So I could have been early to this trade. Now the trade's starting to break down, and that's just how it goes sometimes, team. One thing I can clearly see is the topping action around the 275 here for Meta. We'll look to see if it starts to turn around after a big run in recent time. TSM, another really nice, good move on the day. This one actually staying strong on the day. And you guys can see here how this one made a nice little kind of flagging pattern right out the gates here on the 5-minute. And you guys can see the downward trend line. That's why it's a flag. Nice little 2-slope line. Will we push above it? Pushed right above it, held it at 98.50. Look at this pullback opportunity where the stock does what we call the throwback, above the trend line, right back to the trend line, and then really starts to take off. That's what you got here in TSM. Nice little takeoff there towards the 100. Now slightly below the 100. So I'll keep this one on watch, but not a bad move there in TSM. All right, AMD not having a bad day. Also, take a look at that one. Nice 9 EMA pullback. We talked about these setups yesterday. Would some of these take the lift? Well, there you see it. AMD getting a nice little upside break. So we'll see if this can continue strong. It's had pullbacks to 122, held so far there. I'd be looking for also pullbacks a little bit lower than that towards maybe 120.75, but AMD starting to get strong again. What's going on, MZM Creations? I see you out there on the Twitch live. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Crow saying a lot of chop today. Damn Feds dumping treasuries. Yeah, it was a lot of chop. And you got to be careful on days like today. And one of my main things is trying not to overtrade. I felt like I did a little bit of that today. I should just called it quits a little bit earlier. We always got to learn from what our mistakes. Write down, journal for yourself, right? Like today, I was like, okay, what was the error made today? Of course. Well, there was, I was playing against the market when the Qs was above VWAP, trying to short a tech name when the Qs were above VWAP. Probably not the smartest move. We always got to be journaling. This could definitely help you start catching your mistakes and improving on them. Because the truth is, if you're not improving on your mistakes, are you really getting better? Let's keep going. All right, let's see what else is being talked about in the chat. Of course, we talked about financial services and consumer cyclical, which has led the day. You guys can see energy behind that, really getting a little bit of a bounce. Basic materials, then industrials. Now we're into technologies. We just talked about some of those names. Let's go to real estate as this is even getting a bounce. And this just shows me how much of a market breadth to the upside move we're getting. Even real estate moving higher. The only thing in the red kind of today is healthcare. You got defensives just slightly red, but healthcare really kind of pulling back. Healthcare plans after the really strong move There you go, right back down. It just seemed like it was a little bit of a trick there on ELV. Even CVS pulling back today. Biotech staying a little bit strong, so keep your eyes on names like that. But Gilead has been pulling back significantly as of late, right back down to the 76. We'll see if this can ever turn around. BRTX makes a nice little up move and then right back down. You got to be careful in these biotechs. It doesn't seem hot as of late. So, like, let's say even like the IBB trying to recover, this doesn't look as good to me as it once did. All right, let's keep going. Out of healthcare, defensive names getting hit a little bit today. Farm products, names like that, right? PG pulling back a little bit more. Smuckers, SMJ today was up earlier, now gets hit. It did a little bit of an up move out the gates and then really got smacked right back down. It seems like nobody wants value names, especially when you have this much of an alternative to get some return other than dividends, right? You can actually get returns right now. So keep an eye on that. How's a company like Coke doing? That explains today, right? Pepsi, look at that. Even Kroger continuing to leak now and continuing to leak down. So these just don't look great. I wouldn't be looking at these to kind of continue lifting. It just doesn't look good right now. One name that we can take a look at, Ambev, actually getting a little bit of a lift today. Bud just kind of hanging in there. TAP, that's right back towards kind of Tuesday, May 2nd high. So that got a little bit of a lift. Even Sam kind of pulling back a little bit. We'll see what happens here in the beer situation. I don't know. TAP, man. Is TAP ever going to come back down since then? TAP's been ripping, man. It made a huge move off that 50. It's up there to 65. That's a big move for a brewer. Now, it isn't all good in defensives, right? We talked about some of these are going down still. Packaged foods, winery and distilleries, not looking good here. So like Constellation Brands, this is turning around a little bit here. Doesn't look the best there. Vintage Wine Estates, that's turning around a little bit. Vine, we'll see what happens. I have actually interviewed some of these wineries. I might have to get them back on. Confectioners, how is Mondelez doing after recent kind of gap fill? Let's see if this can continue going lower. It is leaking out today. We'll see what happens on the candies. And the Hershey's, that's leaking today. That's for sure. This looks like an ugly chart. This looks like it's turned around and maybe wants a little lower. We'll find out. All right. Meow, the SPY. Wow. What's going on, man? Is the SPY just continuing to just kind of push higher? Seems like it. Let's see. Look at the Qs. Qs push up, now pull back. Just keep an eye out. Things are definitely moving around out in the markets. All right, what other ones are being called out in the chat? You guys smash the like. It's at 3:36. We're going to keep going here. We got a lot more for you guys. I mean, it's been a good time that I've had like 5 swing trades just continuously to work, but they've been working. And why? Because we keep climbing the trend higher. And I think that this is why I love swing trading so much, because you guys see it. The day trading, sometimes they'll pull your hair out. But the swing trading, of course, sometimes you get to do what? Just ride the trend higher. So right now, when things pull back, it's kind of like those moments where you kind of look, is this where I want to kind of take some profits? So like a perfect example is like a Norwegian, right? It's made a huge move up here, almost to 17. I could try to ride it to the trend line. That trend line's a move to 1720s, 17 something. But to tell you the truth, this has been a really nice move, 23.39% on a move higher here towards the 1680s. We're starting to get a little bit of a pullback in the market. We got about 20 minutes left here. And you know what? I'm at the point where I'm like, let's take this money and run. This has been a really good one. I'm going to go ahead and cash in my Norwegian here. Let me see if I can get it. All right, just got there on 1680s. Not doing too bad there on Norwegian Cruise Lines. So taking that off, a really good winner for me. This has been riding up all the way down there. from back in the 13s, man. What a good move there for Norwegian for me. Not going to be mad at all. 1380s to up there towards the 1680s. We'll take it, man. Really good trade there. All right, so still have ARKK, still have Square, still have LAZR, still have Intel. We'll see what happens with these. Square, that one's the one that I'm fighting myself. Maybe not to take some profits today. Haven't taken profits yet. Was looking for a move closer towards kind of up there towards the 69.93s. But I don't think we might get that today. So what we're going to do is at least take some profit here, man. It's been too good of a move not to take and bank some profits here. So 50%. Let me see. I can take 50% off here. All right, there you go. Cash some Square. Took 50% off. It's at 7.52%. I still have ARK full position. That one I want to drive a little bit higher. Of course, Square is in ARK, so if Square pulls back, ARK will pull back. But I'm going to try to keep grinding that one a little bit more and keep now 4 positions as I took off there NCLH. Can't be mad about banking some profits. All right, let's keep going. Big resistance on Palantir at 1550. Yeah, we'll see if that can continue moving. Like, go to the hourly here, and I can see here that you kind of had this trend line on Palantir. Take a look there, team. You can see how this has come up. One down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up, 3 down. Still should kind of make a little bit of a pullback. This is still could pull back and then kind of wait to get that next push up. We'll see what happens there if it gets through 1575 towards 16 and just continues to drive higher. This has been a monster move there in Palantir. All right, let's keep going. What other ones are being called out in the chat? You guys keep throwing up some good names. I will keep going through the stocks here. It's about 339. Let's take a look here at some other names. Let's go to the oil names, see how they're kind of turning out the day. They're still pushing higher. Yeah, they still kind of holding in there. I'm waiting to get short on these. I can't get short too early because they definitely could get hit. All right, Lynn Williams said, got to go for happy hour with our man Ryan. May swing AI beyond 3830s or 3880s. We'll see what happens there, Lynn. Wish you the best. And definitely tell my man Ryan I said hello. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to GTLB. GitLab. Ooh, that one doesn't look too bad. This one has been a monster move higher. And the only thing is that, remember, when you're shorting stocks like this, and, you know, if you do go try to short a stock like this, you got to be careful because you're definitely playing with fire, right? But at least you know where your out is, right? That's above this kind of 47.13s right now, or 47.10s, the extreme high, right? So now you're turning around here and you're starting to come right back down. It could catch VWAP around 45 and then maybe come a little lower. But I would just kind of keep your eye on the dailies, right? What has this stock done in the past when it's popped? It's popped and dropped, popped and dropped, popped and dropped. So just be careful there. We'll see if this can keep going. But it did pull back a nice amount today and looks like it wants to keep going through 47. So if I measure it here, nice little 38.2% retrace towards like kind of this 42 level. And let me pull it down towards the low here. What's the low here? 38.09. Let me get it there. All right, that's 38.10. You guys can see here, it's holding in on that kind of nice pullback area. I'd keep watch on this. Make sure it doesn't break 40. But if it can hold around 42 and keep grinding higher through this 47, it could push through and maybe make it at 50 run. We'll see what happens. Next stop from there, maybe 50.40. But GitLab actually doesn't look too bad. Definitely wouldn't be something I would want to short, especially determining from the volume, how you can see it's kind of increasing volume into this move. Could really get the motor going. Money Mitch, Smoke Tuna copped GTLB yesterday. Hey, well, there you go. Smoke Tuna. It looks good. It doesn't look bad. I like pullbacks that do this. Hold a little bit of this 38.2 on the fib retracement and then could take that next level. I'll tell you one thing. The market doesn't look like it wants to stop, but you guys can see it here. And there's a reason why I was worried about maybe closing a little bit weak here. And we are making moves up, but the Qs didn't make a huge move, right? We're kind of stuck in this pattern right now. And you guys can see the SPY kind of topping out here around the 428.25s. So we're really not going to kind of push through this kind of daily close, which was yesterday's 426.65. We're up there towards the oh, that's the opening price. The opening price is 428.21. That's kind of the level that I'm looking at right now to see if we can actually kind of hold above here. So you can see how this kind of body can turn around there. I don't want it to look like a turnaround here if I'm thinking this is going to go higher, right? And so we'll see what happens here. Can we make a move back towards 430s? It's been a really strong day for stocks like AMD and certain other names out there. Definitely keep your eyes on, especially growth names as they push higher. Look at this net tease. Nice little move higher. This one looks like it wants to get towards 95 and above. Ooh, nice weekly on this one. Look at this net tease. I don't know this one too much, guys. I haven't traded it, but that looks like a really nice, pretty pattern. So nice little pullback hold, now holding around 45 on pullbacks. Can it get now through 95 and start pushing towards that 100? This is actually one that I will put on my radar. Set an alert at 92.50. Look to see if we can run to 94. All right, catching up. What's going on out there? Dano, how we doing? Walter, what are you guys taking a look at? One of Kathy's Woodstock EDIT up 9%. Looks like a hit bottom. We'll see about that. EDIT, not really one that I look at often. It is trying to get turned around there. Looks like also like kind of that inverse head and shoulders there at the bottom. All right, let's keep going. What other ones are being called? It's a tease, all right. Yeah, that one's an interesting chart. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep taking a look into the market here. You guys keep throwing up some stocks. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at a space that I haven't looked at in a little while, but I want to start looking underneath the hood to see what could get that nice little lift, right? All right, let's go to charging stations. I did see those kind of getting a lift today earlier on, and you guys can see ChargePoint. Nice little day, right? Nice little push back towards 950. Can this actually get going? That's one thing that I would keep an eye out for. Weekly high, last week's high, 999. So can we make a move to 10? That's one thing that I'd keep on watch. If you can get through 10, especially like kind of tomorrow, oh, this is going to be looking hot. So keep your eyes on ChargePoint. This is one that I will watch. EV goes. Another way to kind of keep an eye out on this. Blink charging is getting a little bit of an uplift on this. So we got to keep watch these charging stations. All right, let's keep going. What other stocks we can talk about? We got 15 minutes. We could keep running through the year. Just want to take a look to see if there's anything else turning around here. No, it looks like the Qs bounce a little bit. Now look like they want to kind of come back down. But I'm telling you, every time this is pulled back to this trend line, it has just gotten stronger on the Qs. Can't break them. We'll see eventually if it does. NVIDIA pulled back here, back towards above the VWAP. Now right back below. Will this come right back towards the low? And are we starting to see NVIDIA give up here? That's one thing that I'm pointing to. That will be definitely an important watch. Apple overall, let's take a look there. Apple catching that 9 EMA pullback. Doesn't look too bad overall, especially after some really good comments there from the report, from their worldwide conference, right? Nice little push higher off the 9 EMA. That's around 177.67. You've been at the 177.43 level multiple times today. So I'd kind of watch that to kind of hold 177, see if it makes a move back towards 184. At least I know my out on Apple. That's below 177. Now can we push back through 182 and maybe 185? Get that new all-time high is something I'll keep watch. Tonight's earnings, we do have an interesting one. Play is Dave and Buster's, and look at that, getting a nice little lift right now. We'll see if this can actually come back, get a nice little push up. Not the biggest stock to talk about, but it does report tonight, so I'll keep that on watch. We'll see what other stocks report tonight. There are some other ones kind of re-reporting. What was the other one? There was one more that I wanted to kind of take a look at, but I forgot about it right now. But definitely Play would be on my radar. Utilities kind of pushing right back to the upside. We'll see what happens with these. Duke, do I really want to get in these? Not really. They're not really sexy in my name. I would keep watch the growth names. Growth names seem to have really taken off. And I'd watch names in Kathy Wood, especially these cheaper ones. NVTA is one that I'd keep on watch. Now it starts to get a lift, has a lot of volume that's been in a name like this and could start pushing. DNA got pushing to 183 today. CERS just seems like these stocks want to keep going. NTLA, Twist starting to get a little bit of a push. So I would keep this one on watch. Hood even trying to push up here. We'll see if this can keep pushing. And of course, look at Shop. Shoppy Shop, man, I tried to get you on the pullback. You stopped me out and you keep going. It's been a nice move there for Shop and looks like it wants to keep going. And when Shop goes higher, I look for Amazon to go higher. I look for Melly to go higher. Mercado Libre starting to turn around, though. This one is pulling back a little bit. Can I get another lift? We'll see what happens. Definitely has a big resistance above it, and that's why it's holding up here. Amazon, though, big push since that 100 break. What a nice move. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other ones. Dano, I caught that one. I got you, my friend. Definitely smash the like. We'll keep it going here. Of course, on start swing trade. Let's see if I can get into a swing trade here towards the close. How's Intel doing? It's hanging in there. A little part of me feels like adding already up here. That's just because I'm a degenerate and I want to add already. But it doesn't look too bad for a nice little push right back towards 31.50. If it does push like that towards the close, we're going to be looking pretty good. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other ones here. Let's go to oil names, have those push a little bit higher here, and they have. I'm keeping an eye out on like kind of the daily highs. I would love to get towards 106.50s. You're almost there, so I could start getting a little bit of some short action. We got actually towards 106.27, so we might not make it up there. Little part of me is thinking about already getting a little starter here and kind of working it towards 107 and above on oil. But I also got to keep an eye out on what? I got to keep an eye out on oil prices. They are starting to dip a little bit here. What I'm looking to see is that they dip below into the 60s and then they really start to take a hit. All right, let's get a starter on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a smaller position here. I can add to this position, but I want to start here. So boom, just got the little bit there. I got 106.15s on XOM. So I'm going to look for this to come right back down to the downside and really kind of just try to work my position up there towards the 107. So just got the starter on right now. Can add to this, but if it just comes down towards 103 or 104 tomorrow, I'm going to feel like I missed out. So I'm getting a little bit of a starter here. We'll see what happens there on an oil short for ExxonMobil. And the big part, what will tell me my conviction that I'm in the right side? If I see WTI make a move right back into the 69 handle and start going lower. All right, let's keep going. What other ones are being called out there? You guys see a live trade. Smash the like for that. If you guys want to take a look at some other stocks, definitely throw it up in the chat. We got some more of you guys out there today. Hit the like for me. And if you guys want, of course, to see me take more trades, let's see if we can get the likes up there towards 100 likes today. And then I will definitely take one more trade here towards the close. And what stock would that be in? We'll take a look. Maybe you guys can tell me what kind of positions you guys see out there. CXAI, that's not a bad one to keep an eye out for. I've been watching this one, and I really do think that Crow, it looks great, man. I can't get this one right now at this second because, man, that'd be a little bit of a crazy swing overnight, but this doesn't look bad at all. And I like this move right now that it just recently made. It's been trying to make a move here through this kind of trend line, just popped above, then came back and held the 1150. This one could really get going. I know that everybody's looking at AI overall, but look at this pattern. Really nice hold of 10. Looks like it wants to get through 12, back to 14. We'll see if it actually gets going, and especially tomorrow starts pushing towards, let's say, 13, 14, 15. Who knows where CXAI could be tomorrow? AI overall, that's another one, right? Will this continue to push? I mean, it's continued to push. Who knows? It filled the gap and came right back up towards that 38.18. All right, we'll see what happens on that XOM position. Disney being called out in the chat. I'll take a look at Disney. Disney bouncing back a little bit here. And is Disney the name that I want to get? I don't know, man. I think this could get a move, but how much is Disney going to move up, right? I'm starting to think that Disney is a good investment, but the truth is, how much is it going to climb? It's just one of those things that isn't going to go away. And so that's why I think people invest in it, and the parks and stuff like that. That isn't going away. But is now the driver, is now the growth age here for Disney? I don't think so. I think we need to keep watching to see what they can do with AI, what they can do with the metaverse, what they can do with their licenses, and of course, what they can do with Disney Plus, because it isn't what it's going to be if they want this stock to get back to 200 and 220s. I don't think it's going to get back there if they keep Disney Plus the way they have it. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is being called out in the chat there. ENVB is a stunning chart too. I don't mind taking a little peek at it. ENVB, you guys can see that one. Nice little chart, kind of stair-stepping its way, holding around the 450s, knowing that, hey, as long as it can continue this trend, you're looking good. $4 held the 9 EMA pullbacks, looking good right now off that $4. And now you're up there towards 464. Now it just needs to kind of get that nice little drive towards 550 and 6. All stocks to kind of keep on watch. Even the cheaper names, I got no problem. Why? Because I can see the pattern. Rising support line. Holding, went sideways, it gets sleepy. People stop watching it because the stock goes sideways for what? 12 days? No one watches it. And then the stock goes. Kind of keep an eye out on stocks, even if they're sleepy. That's probably the one that wakes up a couple days down the line. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other action in the markets. Let's go to the SPY. SPY coming right back to the upside, and wouldn't you know it, it pulls back and catches a little bit of a bounce. Qs also look like they're catching a little bit of a bounce here. Will NVIDIA kind of push up here towards the close? AMD's just been a real strong move there. Marvell also is one that I'd keep in to watch. This stock has pulled back, and I think this is setting up here for another move higher. You guys can see here, nice little pullback, holding that little pullback, 9 EMA right underneath it, just slightly went into the gap. This is something I'd keep on watch, especially if it can catch a nice little lift here. I actually, you know what? I haven't taken many tech names on the swings, but it does not look bad by any means here on Marvell. If we're going to continue grinding higher, this is one I want to keep on the radar and not miss. So we'll see if it can push higher tomorrow. I'm going to let this pullback happen right now, but definitely going to be alert for a move above 60.14 tomorrow. If that does happen, I will keep watch to maybe nail this Marvell to the upside. Qualcomm, another one that I want to keep watch. This one as of lately has been kind of just stair-stepping its way. I feel like really getting ready for a nice little push. It pulled back to the 9 EMA today. Now I have this box to kind of risk off of. I can understand, okay, below 112s, I got to get out of this name. Above 118s, this could really start to push. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait to see if I can get that break tomorrow through that 117 and then look to like maybe risk off of 115, 114s. Let's see if this can really push higher. Qualcomm. And of course, they could mention some AI names, right? Don't want to miss that. Qualcomm, baby. Affirm looks interesting above 16. We'll see what happens on Affirm as it keeps climbing higher and could just squeeze names as it keeps pushing. Upstart, very similar chart, right? Carvana, very similar. Pulling back, could keep pushing. This is one I'd keep on my radar. Nice little pullback to 14 tomorrow. Why doesn't this catch a little bit of a push right back to the upside? And especially it's in specialty retail. Look at those names. There's some names that could really kind of get going here, especially like names that kind of have the high beta action. Look at overstock.com. Get a little bit of a lift today. We know how this stock, when it moves and it gets a big candle like this, I got to keep a watch on it because it could pull back and give me a great opportunity. I'll watch for pullbacks below 21 on overstock.com. Not a stock that I want to think about right now, but the truth is when this stock moves, it has a tendency of just ripping. I can show you that on the daily. Just look back at it. When it used to make these kind of big leaps up, pullbacks, big leap up, pullback, big leap up. Let's see if it can make another leap back to the upside. All right, we'll see what happens with Overstock.com. Unity being mentioned in the chat. Perfect inside day. I actually love these types of days, really. And I could maybe take a shot here off of the kind of the 34.45 level. But I'm just kind of staying out of it for right now. I do think this could push higher. Could take a little bit of a swing trade on this if I feel like now's the time to see the stocks continuing to push. But I'm waiting for one more pullback. If I could get a little pullback here, let's say towards 33, I don't mind getting into Unity for a little bit of a swing trade. I'm just looking for a little bit more pullback closer towards this support line. And if we can get a move there, I can go ahead and start looking between 33.89, 34.84s, somewhere between there. If it starts to crack through, I'll start looking to try to maybe get a position there in Unity. I feel like I'm a little bit early if I jump into it here on this pullback and then could just get wiped out on the pullback, never even catching the next move. All right, FSIL making a move today, and that's how you know it. It just seems like momentum names starting to push stronger. Even maybe like a Plug Powers maybe getting a little bit of a lift today. There you guys see it. Plug Powers. This is that type of day. And I think that you're clearly starting to see it, and kind of keep watch on the hourlies and how these stocks have just been developing. And you can see how this kind of pushed up through this level. Now it's trying to hold at what? Prior resistance, trying to become support, trying to hold 9 on the pullback and give you that next level up. We'll see if Plug can keep going. But definitely these momentum names starting to move. And when momentum moves, it could keep pushing. Just got to watch those EMAs. That's what I like using when I'm looking at momentum plays. All right, it's 3:58. Charge point filled the gap. Yeah. Let's see which gap you're talking about. Let me just take a peek right quick. Yeah, it did fill the gap back to the no, it didn't on the downside. It didn't even get close to it. 848, maybe if you're talking about this kind of gap fill to this wick. But really, I try to let stocks fill the whole gap versus just kind of a prior range. But you can see it definitely caught the bid there, coming right back to the upside. Now I want to look to see if it can get through 10. 10 will show me that it really is strong. So I can set an alert here, kind of like 994s. If it gets through 10, I'll definitely keep an eye on it. All right, that's going to do it for us. Pencils down. That's going to do it. It's 4 p.m. I hope you guys enjoyed the action. And today was one of those days where it's definitely a learning lesson for me. And I think that we always got to be learning when we're trading. At the moment that we get to the point where we feel like we know something, that's easily how you get humbled in the market. So take notes, journal, understand what's working well right now, what isn't. One setup that I'm looking at that is working well right now is a setup like we saw in AMD today, when the stock's pulling back after a recent breakout to the 9 EMA that has another support nearby it, catching a little bit of a lift back towards that upside. I'll look to see if I can find other names that can do this, pulling back and then getting that next lift. CRM was one of those names that I'm keeping an eye on right now. It's had a recent push, the 9 EMA. It's trying to recover that. Will it take the next push higher? Keep your eyes on it. There's a lot of names very similar to this pattern, and it's all about trying to find patterns and understand it and get the what? The edge, baby. I'll see you next time right here on Start Swing Trade, where we talk all about the setups, especially daily setups going into tomorrow. And I always talk about them on pre-market prep. There's certain times where we talk about a setup like we talked about on coin. We were worried about this going lower, and boy, did we know regulation was going to come? No, but I was worried about this going lower, especially with Wells notice and regulatory issues that are out there. This could keep going down. I want no business in Coinbase. I feel like it's too much of a risk. But today, I definitely took the hit on Coinbase on the short. So, hey, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. And then what we're going to do is just play again tomorrow. The key is, do you have a processed approach? And can you repeat it? I'll see you next time, team. Smash the like, and let's keep things going right here on Benzinga.